Episode 3426. This is not a good day to start a new addiction.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you ready to get your joy on when it comes to healthy living? Oh, yes. But guess what? This is not a good day to start a new addiction. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you'll want to head over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. All right, well, I hope you're ready for a whirlwind of excellence. Yes, because we are in summertime. Yes, we're reaching the pinnacle of heat. Okay, not exactly, but it is getting warmer. And I think we want to be outside more. And I think as we begin to grow older, I think our positions change as to how we want to live. I know when you're in your tweens and your teens, man, you are unstoppable. Then you hit your late teens into 20s and you're like, oh yeah, look at me. Look what I've got going on here. And then all of a sudden, the body starts to change. Man, after 30, you're like, whoa, this is kind of interesting. You've got the ups and downs and all arounds. And then from that point on, man, 40s, 50s, 60s, it's downhill in a positive way, meaning that you begin to gain speed. But what kind of speed? Speed that's going to help you in your healthy living or hurt you. You know, when I look at my life and how I've gone through the ups and downs and all arounds from being, you know, just the average girl that goes to school, and then I grow up and I get really into my music and all, and then I have my pageant time and then college time and then marriage and family and career. And it's like, whoa. And then I have to look in between the lines. All the habits that I've gained, some good, some bad, some ugly. But I want you to think about your habits. Who thought habits were tough to break? I mean, imagine, though, how quickly you create another habit, good or bad, when it comes to healthy living. This is not a good day to start a new addiction. Because when you make the commitment to change the way you live, it takes work. And a lot of times we're thinking, oh yeah, I got this. I am on this new kick and I am just going to knock it out of the park. I love CrossFit. And you're like, oh, CrossFit, I'm all about it. I'm going to get up and eat it every single morning. I'm going to devour it at night, and I am not going to miss a day. And I know I'm going to make sure my body is ready. And so you start doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And first, it's fabulous. Your body's responding. You're like, yes. And then 6 months later, 9 months later down the road, you're like, man, something's like not right. And you're beginning to feel some changes, not necessarily in a positive manner, a manner that you begin to question. Now, along the way, it wasn't just about CrossFit. You changed your nutrition, you added in some supplements, and then you decided to walk more and you tried to get your sleep a little bit better. But man, you thought you were addicted to sweet and salty foods, and now you're just addicted to turning a tire. Huh. I'm sure you've probably experienced trying to lose weight, change the food you eat, exercise more frequently, or even go to bed early. And within those goals, you had to make some changes that weren't working for you before, right? Depends on where you are, tweens or teens versus I'm in my 70s, 80s, right? And everything in between. But just as you make changes for the bad, you then assume to make new changes for the good. However, what if your good is more bad? Confused? All right, so yes, I want to pull your thinking cap on your head, and I want you to screw it on tight because I want to challenge you today. Is what you're doing for your body really good for your body? There's a lot of waves. In fact, what was I just thinking about a couple days ago? And I was actually having a conversation with my mom. And I said, you know what? Back in the day, this used to be bad for you. But now all of a sudden, it's all the rage. I said, give it another 15 years, it's going to be bad for you again. It's ridiculous. I mean, it just comes and goes, right? The ebbs and flows of life. And you wonder why we're walking around confused. We're wondering why our body isn't doing what it needs to be doing because we're living with the fads. We're going with the fashion. We're not doing what's best for us. Yes, that's why healthy living is not an easy feat. Just when you have cured one habit, you have to check the new ones. So what do you do? What do you do when you think, I got to do something more? More as in not necessarily more fitness or better nutrition, more of something as in what works for my body. Well, you got to do your best to stay on track. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. Stay on track. T.R.A.C.K. This is not a good day to start a new addiction. But a lot of times that's the drive that happens. We drop one. Oh, I'm going to cut out sugar. No more sugar. Oh, I'm going to cut out alcohol. No more alcohol. Oh, and by the way, we're not talking about the quote unquote addiction that you're thinking with drugs and alcohol. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about it from a healthy perspective. Okay. I'm not talking about smoking, even though all that's bad and those are addictions. Okay. I'm talking about how you live a healthy lifestyle. That's what we're referring to. So let me make sure we got the definition there because otherwise we're going to get really confused is what I'm talking about when it comes to addiction. And this is an addiction that you think is good could actually become bad. Maybe you gave up sugar, but now all of a sudden you're eating not one apple, but you're eating 5 a day. Oh, but I'm supposed to have 5 fresh fruits and vegetables a day. Okay, not all of them need to be fruits. You need to incorporate some other things. Oh, but it just satisfies my sweet tooth. Okay, so you're trading technically man-made sugar for sugar that's heavenly made. Is there a difference? If you eat a cupcake versus an apple, what does your body see? Remember, it has a chemical reaction. It doesn't see the cupcake or it doesn't see the apple and it doesn't say, oh, guys, let's celebrate. Oh, and the cells come up and the digestive system says, well, we're going to enjoy this more because it comes from a fruit that has seeds. Oh, but wait, we got this cupcake. Yeah, that's it. Put on the big hard hat because it's all bad for you. No, it sees nothing but sugar. It's a carbohydrate. And it's going to process it accordingly. So just when you think something can be good for you, that good can actually be overworked and can become something bad. So that's why you got to be careful and stay on track. T.R.A.C.K. So what does that look like in real life when you want to put this in motion? Because I know I've been there. I've done this. I've been working now for basically 18 months very hard to make this and what I'm doing a lifestyle. A lifestyle, not something where I just want to see the number move on the scale. I don't want to just see the number change on what I buy and how I check out at the store or when I do it digitally online. I want it for the rest of my life until God calls me home. And so I'm being very, very intentional about what I do. I'm testing things. I'm seeing, okay, well, does this really work? I've tried it before. All right, if we do this, do I bloat up? Okay, maybe I really should stay away from that. I've learned now bread is not a good thing. Why? Because it contains gluten. But you know what? Just because I get gluten-free bread doesn't mean that's a good thing either. Why? Because there's carbohydrates in it. Now, that's for my body, not necessarily for yours. You got to pay attention. And in order to do that, in order to know what your body needs, you got to stay on track. So let's go through this T.R.A.C.K. Number 1, T, trim the excess. What is not working for you? Be honest. Maybe you're trying to work out more. That CrossFit thing that you're trying, sweeping the tire and doing all these things. Okay, that sounded great maybe for the first 6 weeks, but now you're like, I'm exhausted. I can't do it. I'm tired. I'm pulling things that I didn't know I had. My muscles hurt, and I can't get the rest that I really need. So my body can't heal from after I tear it down, and so I'm just having a hard time keeping up. I don't know. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's not. But what is not working for you? Get rid of it. Dispose of it. Take it out with the trash. Do away with the activities or the actions that don't work for you. This isn't about looking side to side. It may work for your husband. It may work for your best friend. But if it's not working for you, why are you doing it? Get rid of it. Trim the excess. Because when you trim the excess, that makes space for you to do what needs to be done. Stay on track. Number 2, R, release the guilt. So important. Stop holding on to all your mistakes and failures. We are so good at that. We're like, oh man, I've tried this so many times. Who cares if this is the 14th time that you've tried to get healthier? Look at this as your first time. Because at this season of life, at the age you're in, this is the first time. I don't care what's happened 13 times before. This is your first time right now. Release the guilt. Because when you forgive yourself, it again allows the mental and emotional space for you. It opens that up so you can say, okay, now I can sit here and wrestle with the stuff that's right in front of me. Your presence is required in order to stay on track. Number 3, acquire the hope. Do what works right now. Create your now, right now. And that means you've got to figure out what works in this season of life. If you have just lost a family member and you're grieving, probably not really a good idea to start weight loss and saying, you know what, I'm just going to cut back on sugar. It may not be a good time. You may need that sugar just to get through your day. And guess what? That's okay. Everybody grieves differently. Give yourself that time. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to eat a half a gallon of ice cream a day. I would suggest some other ways to deal with your grieving process. But you've got to acquire the hope in the season of life that you're in. If you just had a baby, how long did it take to get you to where you are right now after you birthed your child? Yeah, it took you at least 9 months. So give yourself a minimum of 9 months to get to where you want to go. And in actuality, depending upon how your body reacts, it may take a year and a half. But understand that that's the season of life that you're in. Don't go back and guilt yourself, right? That's back up to R, release the guilt. When you release the guilt, you can now acquire hope. Number 4, C, commit to change. Change is a constant. You'll always have it. Doesn't matter how great, how awesome, how many failures you have, how many successes, how many accolades and achievements you have. You could be the president of the United States. Change is always going to be a constant. You can be the trash collector. You can be the guy outside right now or the woman outside right now who is paving our new road in front of our house. Change is a constant. Don't get stuck in trying to be perfect. Do what works for you. But in order to do that, you've got to commit to change. And you've got to have that adaptability. And say, you know what? Yeah, I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to try. And I'm willing to put in that effort. A lot of times we say we want results, but we're not willing to work for the results that we say we want. Big difference. Stay on track. Number 5, K, know freedom. You have to look at what you have to gain. What are you adding to your life? Is it more time? More energy? Is it a better quality of life? Maybe it's more money because you're not eating out so often, for example. Maybe you're actually saying, I'm going to stay at home and I'm going to cook more. Saves money on our budget. And guess what? I look and I feel better. And wow, it's more money in my pocket. Yes. No freedom. If the only way to succeed is to ban everything around you, failure will come quicker than freedom. Where are you right now in your healthy living? Because let me tell you, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. I don't care how much money you have in the world. I don't care how many children you have. I don't care if you have the best spouse. I don't care if you are the top of your class when it comes to your career. Nobody can beat you. But they can if they have health and you don't. So where are you? Are you taking care of the body that God gave you? Are you making time to put in the effort? And yeah, maybe you're in a season where you put on a little extra few pounds and you were at a plateau. Hey, guess what? That's okay. Go back to ground zero again and say, what did I do to ramp it up at the beginning? Maybe I need to start there again. Now, if that was 15 years ago, okay, you got to reevaluate where you are right now, because 15 years ago, you're at a different age. You're at a different stage of life. But if it was only 5 months ago, look at it 5 months ago and say, gosh, what was working then? Maybe I need to rinse and repeat that now, get my body back and revved up, and then now then kind of find my system again. Get in the groove. Stay on track. My friend, I believe in you. Nothing is impossible. And I know there are days that we get up and we think, oh man, and we're tempted by so many things. I know I just went to the grocery store yesterday, and you know how many things I was tempted by? Yeah, let's just say I put in an extra 6 things in my bag that I didn't need. But guess what? I'm traveling, and I'm like, that's okay. I'm going to spend money on snack food. Why? Because I'm traveling. I know this is going to be a season of 4 or 5 days that I may put on an inflammation amount of about 4.5 pounds. And guess what? I'm okay with that, because this is where I'm at right now. I'm being present, but guess what? When I come back, getting back on track. What does it look like? Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to derail everything. I can still eat healthy when I eat out, but it's harder when you're on the road. I can pack those snacks, but man, when you've got a 13, 14-hour drive, it's tough. And sometimes you're driving early in the morning or late at night, and it's like you just need that snacky food. Well, I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up, right? Release the guilt. I know what needs to be done. So in order for me to stay on track, I give myself a little bit of room. I give myself a little bit of grace. And then guess what? I was only parking for a little bit. Now I'm back on track. No big deal. Where is it for you? Where do you need to put in a little more effort? Where do you need to pull back? Maybe you need to switch everything. But when you find yourself in that position, whatever it is, make sure you start with one thing. One step at a time leads to miles of greatness. Don't rush it. You're on a journey. This is not a sprint, but your marathon. And I want you to finish well. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.